year of fried chicken and pigskins, baby. We're going to be talking DeFi Kingdoms, eSports, NFL, real sports, quote unquote, all the goods. Competitive sport, baby. And no better time than right before the fall, right before the football season, and right before PvP kicks off, excuse me. T, the genius behind the name. I have to give the shout out. I
Yes,
love it.
sir.
T, how you doing today, brother?
Man, I'm having a nice day. This is actually work week wise. This is my Saturday, man. So I've been chilling, had a nice time listening to all the new alpha on the AMA, and then I'm pumped for this stream to kick off, man. I was telling you right before we started, I've been gearing up for fantasy football. I'm a huge football guy. I love it. So this is going to be a lot of fun starting this new stream Thursday nights. We're going to be doing it right before kickoff of the Thursday night game.
Mm-hmm.
We'll mix up, talk a little fantasy football, real football, and then of course plenty of DeFi Kingdoms, get some hunts in, and yeah, man, the name I was brainstorming yesterday it came to me and it's perfect, little double entendre.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful stuff. The creative genius was flowing, and yeah, we'll test out this time slot. Not a lot of action on Thursday nights. A little later from the West Coast boys, but we're gonna be talking this right before Thursday night football. I thought that was key. Give you guys a little different pregame show. If you want to talk a little DFK and NFL, that's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be checking in on our fantasy leagues, of course. A bunch of the DFK folks held some fantasy leagues this year. We're gonna be holding one, depending on turnout. Maybe one specifically for the jewelers with some nice prizes, and one also for the community. Might get a few different guilds involved in that. I think that'd be fun, even if two from each guild, 12 teams total, and let's say me and you had to combine with a roster, and we talked it through, and maybe we have just so we had more guilds in play, 6 guilds, 2 teams each. That could be pretty fun, and then we'll do one other one. So this will give us a platform to give updates, highlights, all that good stuff. And with PvP around the corner, we're going to be doing that as well with DFK. The Jewelers Combat League, of course, we talked it before. The tweet is there. We have a stacked lineup of people already into the wait list. A lot of good competitors for that. So this will give us a platform to talk updates on that, talk biggest matches, highlights, and stuff like that. And T, if I can pull it up while I get your opinion on these things, I have a highlight, our very first fried chicken and pigskins highlight coming at you. And where's it coming from, T? What game? What sport? It's coming from an esport, baby. It's coming from DeFi Kingdoms. T Heat had a crazy match. I won't play it yet, but we'll get your opinion on just overall the show, and I'll show the highlight.
Okay. Oh, I know what you're gonna play. Nice, man. No, yeah, I'm excited for this show. Like I said, it's perfect for me. Talking football, talking DeFi Kingdoms. Love all of that. I'm excited for what we're going to get into tonight. Tonight, not so much football related. It's a little bit early for that, but we're going to talk more about the traits that were released today,
Mm-hmm.
man. I feel like we've been a lot of stuff, and one thing that kind of slipped in. Shout out to Jerm Curry. He pointed this out to us. There, what was that? Was it a vote on Metis where they kind of slipped in that PvP is going to be out in quarter 3?
Yeah, dude, it was a vote. It looks like I don't know specifically if it's a vote on the grant. I don't know, but we'll talk about it this weekend in the Jewelers
Yeah.
podcast for sure, and we'll post a link. I don't have it handy, but that's a great
So,
point, dude. That came out of nowhere. We're gonna put all our support and love and likes and shares into that, and we'll show you guys that here later, um,
mhm.
or maybe at the end of the show if we have time.
But it's kind of perfect timing with them
Perfect timing.
releasing these traits, the updated information here. Man, it's a lot to chew on.
Yes, sir. A lot to do, a lot to chew on indeed. And that competitive nature, though, all those leagues, all it's going to coincide here on this Thursday night show. So I'm
Right.
super excited. And I
Fantasy
think you predicted
football, PvP. Oh my God.
the
What a
works,
time to be
baby.
alive.
The works, baby. Good time to be alive. So we're going to restart it. Hopefully they don't get spoiled too much here. There's no pause button yet. One of my biggest gripes. We need a pause, fast forward, slow down button. But here's our first highlight. You might have guessed it. T Heat coming in with one of the fastest matches I've seen in a while, honestly. Since they got, nerfed. Since our heroes got nerfed and the boars and box got buffed. Um, just a little teeny bit, archers especially nerfed. One of the
Right.
fastest matches I've seen. The Archer. What is this in front, team?
That's a warrior.
A warrior, smacking him around, a lot of crits, early body slam. How much did that help you?
Man, I really, whenever I hate getting that crit on the first block on the first one small stone because I'm like, oh, that rushes me. But then whenever they went body slam instead of gusting or mighty gust, that I was like, all right, time to put an end to this.
And I noticed you don't even have level 15 abilities on that one, at least.
No, bro, this one of those
Notable.
guys is a level 11, and the rest are 12.
Wow, dude. So level 12 floor, even with the level 11s.
Right.
Rapid shot, smack it around. Awful body slam by the Bach, honestly, by Mama Jack. That's
Big
why we
miss.
have this fried chicken, baby. Dang.
When it went so quick, I was like, how quick was that? 16 turns.
16 turns, brother. 16 turns. So, one of the fastest matches I've seen in a while. I wonder if this puts you on the leaderboard for DFK Quester.
I
Insane
thought
stuff,
about it. I didn't
dude.
check.
And honorable enough for our first highlight in the space. So, much love for that. I'm actually going to put DFK music very light in the back. Let me know, audience, if it is too loud. And I haven't been doing this since I moved to Streamlabs. I want to give a damn shout out to the chat. Sticks Intern, Franz, Worm, King from the Jewelers, from ZMA Meta Army, Zan's Meta Army, of course. Skiller in the house, coming in on the West Coast, catching us early. Trade Room, and much love to all you folks. You know, if you are here, give a share, give a like, give a retweet to the community. Let's get this popping, baby. We want esports in DFK to be huge. So I thought this would be a great platform for us to do it. Again, thanks T-Heat for that first highlight. Much love for that. Honorable, as I said, and let's get situated here again and get into our first tier list. We
And
said
they
we
said
were
turn
gonna...
up our voices just slightly.
What's that?
So crank up our microphones just a little bit.
Okay. Let me see. What I can
Game audio is good, but our voices are quiet. And then let's get into it.
I can turn you all the way up. That's good. And then I have myself pretty low too. Yeah, let me know if it starts crackling, because I'm not really caring about the red noise. It looks like the red levels on this mixer. So we'll see if that's too loud, too low. I got a little room. I turned you all the way up I can, so I'm hoping
Cool.
we're good.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, baby. So first one we're kicking off with active traits. I should have this in order. Next week, I do want to give a quick announcement. I can't remember if I said this already. I'm rambling. I'm happy. I'm excited for this show, dude. This is a lot of fun. Next week, we're going to do NFL teams tier list way too early. A little bit before the draft. Unless something crazy comes out like PvP drops on us, next week, then we will most likely do a Thursday show, NFL teams tier list. If someone can't make it with me, I'll probably wait like a week or something like that until one of you guys can make it, just because I think it would be a lot of fun to do it together. But let's get into DeFi Kingdoms. Actives and passives dropped today. We've had them out, of course, for a while, but a bigger teaser, an update on the nerfs and buffs, whatever it may be, depending on the trait. But these are going to be probably live on launch. T, what's your thoughts?
Man, I'm excited because I've been, really going after some traits. I don't have I don't have anything transcendent. Is that the top level?
I don't even know. I put it in my notes as exalted.
Exalted.
Is it
Maybe
exalted?
that's it. I don't know.
I can't
think
remember.
it's transcendent. Either way, I don't have anything like that. But they actually kind of got nerfed. So hey, but I'm pumped because I got a lot of good passive setups that I'm ready to try to deploy out there.
That's good. That's good. I do want to come clean about something. One of the things that I was really, of course, intrigued about is the nature of competitive gameplay in DeFi Kingdoms. And, the more I look at it, T, there is some fucking monster heroes in this community, bro, with some good traits. I was happy, however, that I think that they're well balanced. At the forefront, they seem well balanced. Nothing seems overpowered. Of course, if you earned a resurrection, second win, stun, all that good stuff, they seem earned. They seem like they have some meat on that bone. But, don't underestimate some of these traits up at the top end in the basic tier. I was excited to see that even for my somewhat weaker army in terms of traits, I think I can still compete with those greater stones, those good stats, those good level ups and all that stuff. And equipment especially. What's your thoughts, T?
Man, I'm just ready to see him action because I do think, and if you want, I can go through. I kind of put together a little breakdown of what got changed and what was.
Yeah, let me pull that up, dude. Thank you for letting me know because I wanted to.
Yeah, because maybe we should run through that real quick, just what the
Yeah.
changes are. Can hit that real quick, and then let's rank them.
I agree. I wanted to do that. Completely forgot, bro.
All
Big
good.
timely reminder. Let me pull it up because I started posting all those stupid little things, the little icons in the chat, and then it got washed down. I'm gonna request access from the Jewelers Guild. Check your email if you can while we wait.
Well, here I can pull it up
Oh,
if
you
you want
have
me to
it?
screen share.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
one
Yep.
second.
Let's
I'll
do
do that. Screen share.
Screen cat collab one. Teehee screen. Show
There we
iPad
go.
rolling. Give me 1 second.
Yep.
Should be good. Let me fit this to the screen.
Cool. And I'll speed run these real quick. We won't go too deep into them, but just kind of talk about the changes, and then we can do a little bit more of a deep dive in the ranking, right?
Perfect, bro. Let me just move this over because we have
see
our
it.
faces blocking it, and then we'll get right into
Oh,
it.
smart.
You
Yeah,
can, you can talk. You can start.
Okay, so first one, and I'm just going to go through the actives first, since that's what we're starting the ranking with. So Poison Blade, basic 1, it's unchanged. You have basically 80% chance to poison, and it's a basic attack. Blinding Wind, same thing, 80% chance to blind, basic attack, unchanged. We get our first change on heal. They took it, it was actually 20% max HP heal. Now it's 30% max of HP. So that got a 10% increase. Cleanse stayed the same. You cleanse the hero. Iron Skin used to be reduced physical damage for 20% for 4 rounds. That is now 10%, so decreased in half, and it's 80 ticks, which I believe is maybe 20 ticks a round, or roughly. I know it kind of depends on speed, but so I think it's kind of the same length of time.
We should get a figure on that for Saturday because I can't remember. Honestly, in my head, I thought it was 100 ticks.
Is it 10?
Or is it? It might be 10 ticks for a round for
100.
A normal typical round. I'm pretty sure.
I need to. I remember hearing the formula, but I don't recall it. So we need to figure that out because that makes a big difference. But yeah,
we'll come back with that information.
Right. Next one, speed was first strike for the next 2 rounds. That is now 20% haste, which is just a 20% speed increase for 40 ticks, and then you also get plus 500 initiative, which is basically like half a turn. So that's a little bit different there. Crit aim this one got a big nerf. So it used to be a 70% chance of crit for 2 rounds on the target. That got cut down to 35%.
Crazy, dude.
Right. So cut that in half, and then, but they did add the attack. It used to just be one, basically basic attack. Now they added a 35% crit chance to that.
Crazy. Real quick, Sashay in the chat. Big love to Sashay hopping in here today. As well, chimes in on the speed here for us. Gets us right.
Perfect.
100 speed hero takes roughly 10 ticks until his next turn, more or less. So there's a little, guideline for you.
It's almost double increase on the amount length there for going back to Iron Skin, but you get half the damage reduction percentage. So a little trade-off there. Perfect. Thank you, Sasha. Appreciate that.
Perfect timing.
Next one, Death Mark. It was target enemy receives 20% increased damage for 2 rounds from all allies, and then deal a basic attack. It got a 20% boost on the attack, and then 85% chance to increase damage to 15%. So you're not guaranteed.
That's interesting. I thought that was one of the craziest nerfs. And big love to Zan for that gold donation. A lot of zeros there. I couldn't see how much, but a lot of gold from Zan. But yeah, what do you think, dude? 50% on the exhaust. It's not guaranteed. It kind of hurts some of the heroes. I was like, yeah, we got a guaranteed exhaust going into these battles.
Right. I mean, all of those are kind of big time, and that's a big one. So yeah, exhaust. It now does a little bit more damage, but now it's 50% chance to exhaust. And if you look at the next one, days. Oh dang it! I've been talking on. Damn it! I'm sorry. Just realized I've been looking at I got 2 screens going, and I was on passives on the stream.
I couldn't see on my side.
My bad, y'all. I'm sorry,
It's all good. We'll show it.
Now I'm on the right. No, I'm on the right tab there on the one. So anyways, but yeah, days, if you compare that to exhaust, so they both got an increase in the amount of power that they do, which is nice to see, especially compared to some of those basic attacks, that this one being advanced. And then you get 80% chance to daze, 50% chance to exhaust. So pretty big difference there on the chance to hit on those two, but that just tells me that exhaust is that much more damaging to the opponent, right? Which we know because it kind of has two turns. Because your first turn after being exhausted, you can't deal damage really. You do like half a basic attack, or so that's interesting. The change there, and the fact that it's not 100%, and also the fact that it's just a clean 50% or 80% doesn't have anything to do with your dex or anything is kind of interesting to me as well.
Very cool, very cool.
Right. And then the last couple here, explosion. This one got a big change too. So it used to be basically one basic attack to all enemies. Now it added a channel and amnesia. And then the power to the main target is increased 50% damage, but then you get a 30% power reduction to the other two enemies. So
crazy stuff.
Yeah, that's a lot right there.
When we do break these down, boys and girls, we are going to come bottom to top because, of course, the bottom tier on this page that you see, the Exalted, or I believe it's Exalted. Chat, please confirm or deny Exalted or Transcended. I'm pretty sure it's Exalted, but I don't remember.
Sounds right, yeah.
But we'll go bottom to top. That way we have that kind of ceiling to know, okay, this is probably S tier, you know what I mean, and go from there.
Right.
Continue, my brother.
Last few here, Hardened Shield. 30% damage reduction for 40 ticks, that's pretty much the same, except 40 ticks is 4 rounds, roughly the same there. The interesting thing to me there, real quick, going back to Iron Skin, so you have more of the damage reduction, but for half the time. So that's kind of an interesting difference there. And then the 2 elites stun. You get a power increase, 40% power increase, and then it's 80% chance to stun. Second one stayed the exact same, so healing for 50% of missing HP, and then everybody else 75% of that value. And then the final one, Resurrection, return you to life. It used to be 50% max HP, now it's 25%, so you get half that amount. So pretty big nerf on that one.
Yeah, big one that Dags was hyped about. He was very vocal about this one a few months back. Hardened Shield Sachet chimes in that it does decrease magical and physical damage now. So not only physical. I think that's huge. 30% for 40 ticks. That's insane.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so that is a big difference because Iron Skin's only physical damage. Right. Nice.
Perfect. I'm sorry. Did we go through all those? I just want to make sure.
That is all of them.
Perfect. Yeah. Let's jump in, brother. We got the tier list here. I actually made this, so let me get yours off real quick. I made this tier list so that, and I might switch these around actually. Let me do that real quick because I think it would look better the other way around.
Yeah.
Just for the viewers' point of view. Perfect. Our faces are in the way a little bit, but it is what it is. I hope you guys can live. I think this will be better though. Perfect. So I made this so anyone out there, streamers, people that are in the community, you can edit this and post your own. I'll share the template after the show, maybe put it in the bio as well. So all these should be in order for the most part. I might have to change the other one real quick, but this is passives, and we'll go to actives first. So starting from the bottom up, T, again, you just said Resurrection. So it does say right here also, by the way, Exalted 1, return target ally to life with 25% max HP. Target ally is exhausted for 1 turn, so you kind of have that little nerf part at the end there. I think is needed. I kind of like it, I'm not going to lie. Do we still think this lies in the S tier?
This is, I think it kind of has to, just because, I don't know. I definitely think, not to jump ahead, but I definitely think Second Wind is S tier, and then I think you got to put Resurrection in there too, and those would be my 2 S tier personally. Not to jump ahead, I'm sorry.
No, you kind of have to. You kind of have to get a feeling. Of course, you kind of have to go through a few of these to get a feel. So, yeah, why don't we leave it in S tier? It's supposed to be S tier. We'll kind of judge things off that.
It's supposed to be the best, right?
It's supposed to be the best. It's the only one. It's the only Exalted. You're 100% right, T. So jumping into the second one here, we'll do Elite 2 first. Restore, which is second win, Elite 2. Restore 50% of missing HP, your own missing HP, the hero that uses it, and each ally is healed for 75% of that value. So you're gonna want to use this on a tank. That's the value you're gonna really get from it, and it's a team heal, an AOE heal. I think this is superb. I mean, what's your thoughts, T?
Look, I can make the argument that this is better than Resurrection.
Already agree. Already agreeing. I'm with you.
I mean, because you're getting more of a heal. You're getting 50% of that max HP versus 25%. You're not becoming exhausted. And everyone else gets 75% of that value.
It's huge. It's huge. I'm loving it. I do think we could either leave it kind of like as a 1 SA or S1 S, you know what I mean, S1 S2 kind of deal here. I think Resurrection could fall second in the S tier for now. I kind of agree. But you can't underestimate, you know, the death value. The death value is huge, dude. Not being able to use that hero anymore, and then getting some life on a Dreddy, and you could heal him to max HP with a full potion or something like that. So I like this. I do think second win is strong. I'm not gonna at the first glance, I do think Resurrection is great. You know, maybe we aren't valuing that whole death just yet, but are you okay with me leaving it as S1, S2 for now?
I mean, so yeah, I think I would kind of put it like that. I agree. Because the thing is, with second win too, it's kind of like 3 actions in one, right? Because you get the heal for everybody. So from that angle, it's great. And like we said, you already get more heal on that. Now, bringing somebody back to life is nice, especially like, say, a crit hits, you know, and takes you down whenever you were maybe 35% or something like that. So I get the point where Resurrection can really save you and bring somebody back. If you resurrect somebody with second wind, even better. But man, it's just tough for me to rule against something that can do essentially 3 actions in one turn, which second wind does.
4 facts, dude. I'm with you, bro. All right, let's jump into stun here. And real quick, I was just on Twitter retweeting some stuff for the show. Can you guys bully T-Heat into creating a Twitter so I can at least tag him? Even if
I'm thinking about it.
You need an alt. I know you might.
I gotta get an alt, bro. Yeah.
You need an alt. Yeah. That way, you know, no full docs if you don't need to. All right, so stun Elite 1. I have a few stun heroes on on a Greater Stone, you know, Archer. I'm excited about this one. Let me read into it fully. Deal 1.4 power. Could be nuts. It's not going to be a Dreddy or nothing, but it has some good strength. Damage to a target enemy and an 80% chance to stun. This could be huge in a dire turn. Not big team heal, but still pretty strong. You want to call this A or S for now? What are you thinking? First damage one we've seen. First damage one we've seen.
And it's big. Like the 1.4 is the biggest boost on you know, dealing what the damage you're dealing is. So that's nice. And then 80% chance to stun. I mean, you're getting the same chance at stun that you are daze, and stun is obviously much superior than daze. So that's a really good one too. And the ability to throw off your opponent's turn could be really critical for battles, for PvP. So I think this has to be at least an A tier. I struggle putting it up there in that S tier, but
yeah,
this is a solid A tier.
I don't think it has the stuff yet, even though SI in the chat does say he's going to take 3 explosion non-codex classes and just first turn channel. That could be funny. But you know, this could be huge to stop 1, but it's only 1. So I'm kind of with you. It's not an AoE. We'll put it as A tier. Jumping into advanced traits, we got 4 of them, of course. We're moving well on time here. Hardened Shield, Amnesia, reduce damage taken by 30% for 40 ticks, excuse me. And we'll just reiterate Sachet's speed comment so we can kind of get a good feel. 100 speed stat hero, and we don't have the speed formula handy, but I think you might be able to hunt it down in the community. I'm unsure. I think it was going along in the Jewelers Guild Discord today as well. 100 speed hero takes roughly 10 ticks until his next turn, more or less. Well, this is damage taken for 40 ticks, 30%. What are we feeling, T?
It's an interesting one because, man, Hardened Shield, you probably want it on a tanker, but then a tanker, well, I guess 40 ticks doesn't matter how slow they are. But um, I don't know. I don't love it. I do like that it also does magic reduction, but for initial PvP, that's not the biggest deal. I don't see Seers being ran too heavy. Um, but 30%, the one thing it kind of says to me that, especially with the reduction in iron skin going from 20 to 10%, it makes me feel like this might be a little bit heavier effect than what we kind of think it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I was going to double back to Iron Skin, even though it's up and we haven't gotten to it yet. 10% for 80 ticks on Iron Skin, that's a basic tier trait. It kind of puts it in perspective. 30% could be a lot, you know? That's a good bit of damage, 30 on 100.
Hmm.
So, you know, not nothing to scoff at, but I'm kind of with you. It's nothing too crazy, especially when we don't have that full magic damage feel yet, I'd say. And it's only 40 ticks, so I'm okay to put it in a B or C tier here. Our
Right.
first entries there. What do you think? Final one.
I say let's keep it B for now, and we can maybe revisit if we want to slide it down.
For sure. I'm with you.
But
Explosion, one of the funnest ones, I think. Active, advanced, 3. Gonna be a channel, gonna be a huge damage bit. More than stun, but it has a fat channel. 800 initiative, which 1000 initiative is one turn, excuse me. Amnesia 4, so double explosion gets a nerf. Deal 1.5 power to 1.5 times power damage to target enemy, so whoever you're targeting, and then everyone gets hit by at least 0.7 power. The other two will get hit by 0.7 times power. Pretty strong. Do we want
yeah,
to put this with A tier and kind of just see how we feel? I
I
think it
think
belongs
so.
up there. What do you think?
Yeah, and you could actually make the argument. I guess I kind of misspoke earlier when I said the stun with the 1.4 times power was the best. This is 1.5, so you get more damage to the main target than you would with stun. You don't get the chance to stun them, but that's only 80% chance anyways, man. So, and then you get the 70% on the other two. That's huge because again, that's 3 actions for one turn.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, you have to channel. That's a little bit of you know, like here's my question,
It's a pain
and
spot.
I'm assuming this is the case. Say that I channel on that, and then somebody interrupts my channel. I can't use explosion again, right? Like
That's how it
that's
should
not
work. If I was, you know, from my perspective, I think that's how I would like it to work.
right,
You get it canceled, you lose it, bro. You don't just
right.
get another chance. I think I'm with
I
you there.
mean,
So
that's kind of how it works right now. When you're channeling, it uses your MP, and if it doesn't cast, you're out that MP. So I
you're
would
out.
assume it's the same,
Amnesia
right?
comes still. Like there's nothing. You know, if you have double explosion, you could still use it in that game, I guess. And
Right.
and Sachet confirms that is correct. If explosion gets interrupted, you cannot use it again. That's huge. I love Sachet. I know you showed some love in the comments, but dude, I love having you here to help us
Yes.
through some of these
Yes.
pain
Huge.
points. This is huge. And I want to question what as I said because is this true? Days can't be cleansed. Stun can. Sachet, chime in. We'll get to a days here in a little bit. Actually, it comes up next. Well, we got explosion in A tier. Perfect. Um,
Yeah. Last thought on explosion, real
yeah.
quick. I think the channel and then the fact that it could be interrupted and you could just lose it is kind of the one thing that maybe keeps it below stun on that A tier. But you could argue it's maybe better than stun in some cases.
Yeah, pretty crazy. He confirms stun cannot be cleansed. Oh, crazy. I want to
Can be.
compare those real quick, and then we might just throw stun in here while we got a feel for it. Jump the gun, just because we're on the topic. So it's deal 1.4 times power, 80% chance to stun, which can be cleansed for one turn. We go to days, and it's an advanced too, so it's not too far off. Deal 1.2 times power, a little less, and 80% chance to days, which cannot be cleansed. You know, if we're given that in A tier, are we feeling to keep stun in the A tier if we found that information out? Do we think they're both B tier? Because I think days isn't too bad then, you know?
Yeah, I mean a little bit less. I guess about 20% less damage or power, but but yeah, I mean that's nice. You immediately days them, and it makes sense. You can't cleanse it because it just resets your time or your turn, I guess. So
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, that is a good point, man. And you get that same 80% chance, which going to the next one with exhaust, 50% chance, and you can cleanse it. Yeah, days is definitely up there.
I'm gonna give stun the leg up just right now because you still would have to pull a cleanse. Days, you're not gonna pull any cleanses because you can't be done. But stun, you might pull. A cleanse is a pricey ability, so that's something to consider too. If
Right.
you pull a cleanse just for a stun, that's a fair trade. So I'm gonna leave it as A2. I'm gonna leave explosion as A1 for now if you're okay with that.
Okay. Yeah,
I like
I like it.
explosion. I think it's pretty strong. We'll have to see how it is. You would have to pull a stun or a daze for explosion too, which could be cool. But let's move to exhaust. Advanced 1, deal 1.2 times power. Again, this is huge. This hurts it. Deal deal that damage to the target enemy 1.2 times power and a 50% chance to exhaust the target. Only 50%. And we know how these numbers roll in DeFi Kingdom. So
Yeah, that 50% is gonna feel like 25 real
oh my
quick.
god, oh my god, it might, dude. It's still a strong ability if it hits. Do we feel like it's B tier because of that 50%?
Yeah, I would knock it down. I would put it above Hardened Shield, but I'd knock it down.
Okay, we'll leave it at B tier, above Hardened Shield, though. I'm agreeing. We'll have to see how it plays. Let's move into the basics here.
50%, and then you can cleanse it, and we already had that conversation. But
Yep, it does burn a cleanse. That is a good point, but that percent is hard to get past. It's kind of crazy.
Right.
Let's roll into Deathmark here. Deal 1.2 times power. 1.2 times power damage to target enemy. 85% chance to inflict the target with a debuff to where they receive 15% increased damage for 40 ticks. Again, that only 40 ticks BS. But maybe it's longer than we're feeling if you use it right before. That's just something I'm wondering though. Are you even going to get a go again after 40 ticks? I guess you could use it on one hero and then the other hero's about to use it. But that's something to keep in mind with these 40 tick moves, depending on if you need to take advantage of that debuff. Deathmark, what do you think of T?
Yeah, I like it. It's interesting trying to compare it to some of the other ones because like you're getting the same power increase that you do from Daze and Exhaust, 1.2 power, but then you have 85% chance to get that 15% increase for the 40 ticks. So you're not necessarily gonna get that increase, but pretty likely. And then 50% is solid, man. I mean, that's the max boost that you can get from leadership or intimidation. So I feel like that's a good spot to have that at 15%. And 40 ticks is not a short length of time. I mean, that's if you have fast enough heroes, well, I guess a lot of heroes aren't 100 speed, but that could be 3 or 4 turns for you. So I think it's pretty powerful, man. I could put it B.
I like it at B. Hard to judge between all these other ones that aren't damaged, but we'll throw it in the middle at B2. Hardened Shield still stays in there, but I like it there.
And one thing to mention just with all of these, it also is a little bit dependent on the hero itself, right?
True.
So,
and
some
what
are
comp
better
you
than
have
other
to go
classes.
with it, because some of these require a little bit of setup.
Right. Or like if you have a good passive that pairs well with the active, that could boost it a little bit, but so a lot of things could affect it, but we're just trying to look at just each individual one without those other elements.
Right on. Right on. That wombo combo magic could play a lot with these actives and passives and combos within. So let's move to critical aim here. T, deal 1 times power damage to target enemy. This attack has 35% crit chance, and you gain 35% crit chance for 2 turns. One of the strongest abilities, I thought, in the basic tier. Guaranteed, no chance, a little damage, but a big buff to yourself. I personally like it in A tier T. Do you have any objection there?
This comes down to like what your team build is a little bit, because if you're running a team full of archers, then this is amazing, right? And we've already seen that the luck archers that are crit and heavy might be the PvP meta. So I can see the argument for it being A tier, and it can set up really well with some other attacks too. So it's a pretty definitely. Of the basics, it's up there.
It's up there. I like it. Are you okay with it in A as well? We got it last in A tier right now. A tier.
Yeah, I think that's good because it's kind of it's not that powerful up front, but what it might enable you to do on the next couple turns is pretty big time.
For sure. Big shout out to Dags in the chat, joining us from the gym. Much love, brother. Hope you're doing well. And he also mentions and I did see this tweeted. Expeditions did drop. We talked about it a little before the show. We'll talk it more, of course, this weekend in the Jewelers live stream. Jewelers Live, DeFi Kingdoms podcast. And yeah, I wanted to throw that in there because it is live if you guys are curious. But don't leave the show just yet. Wait till we're done at 8 o'clock Eastern. But let's
We got
jump.
to speed up.
Yeah, we got to speed up here. 36 minutes. We might cut it a little close. All right, next one rolling into speed. 20% haste for 40 ticks and gain 500 initiative off the bat. So you're getting a half turn and you're getting 20% haste. A lot of speed, a lot of increases.
This is much better than it used to be.
Yeah.
Like the way that they reworked this, I think that this is pretty powerful.
I think this is A tier, bro. Objections?
I mean, I'm a big speed guy. I think that could be a big differentiator in close fights is whoever has more turns. It's
more turns, more damage, more heals, more abilities. I agree. Right. Much love to Choso as well. He's been putting a lot of work into databases or data in regards to DeFi Kingdom. So much love to him. And we saw King from Zan's Meta Army in the chat as well. Much love, King. You might have been here earlier, but I'm giving you another shout out. All right, so that's good stuff. I think we're good with it. If we have to move, B into C and divvy this up, we will later. Iron Skin. Talked about it a little. Reduce only physical damage. For now, this might be higher than it is, in a few months, in a year.
Yeah.
Because we get more magic dealers. But reduce physical damage for 10% only for 80 ticks. I don't think it belongs in A. So I'm going to put it in D for now, but we might slide some things down here. Are you okay with it in B?
Nah, dude, D. Put it at the
really?
bottom.
Not even just because we see archers so much in play.
I guess if you're thinking for initial PvP, we can bump it up to C. I see your point there.
I'm with you, though. It's not
long-term vision. Only physical damage.
Yeah.
80 ticks is a long time, so maybe it's a good thing to throw early and try to save yourself a little bit of damage early in the fight. But I don't know, man. It's just it's not doing much for me here.
It's not a big percent. I'm with you. The archer plays into it a little bit, but honestly, T, you convinced me. You twisted my arm. Iron Skin is the worst. Just Crypto, much love to Just. He jumps into chat in perfect timing. Something has to be worse. I agree with you. He's twisted my arm. Iron Skin goes into D tier, our first worst trait, if you will. Basic 5. So let's go to Cleanse, a fun one. I like this one. How good is it, though? Cleanse. Straight up, cleanse target party member. No percent BS. It's got to be B at least. What do you think?
I guess here's my question, and I don't know if Sasha is still around to give us confirmation on this. If so, that'd be huge. Because the priest cleanse only cleanses one negative status effect. Mm-hmm. Is that how this is going to work, or is it going to clear all negative status effects?
I think it's the same, bro. I think it works exactly the same.
So just one? It's just a random one? You don't get to pick it? I lower it.
It's random. That is true. You could have a lot of debuffs, and I'm pretty sure it is
random.
If
I would knock
Sasha's
it down
still
to C.
here, he can give us only cleanses one. Yes.
C.
Is it random, Sasha? Is it the first in last out type thing? What is it? How's it work here? What's the flow?
Pretty sure it's random.
Pretty sure it's random. I agree. So are we thinking B? Are we thinking C? Does it fall into C category? It is only one. It is random.
I'm knocking that down to C.
You're knocking it down to C. Let's revisit a few of these. Do we think Hardened Shield, Exhaust, and Deathmark have a cozy spot in B? I kind of do. I think Deathmark's strong. I like it. Exhaust is still Exhaust, even with the 50%. Does Exhaust stay there? What do we think? Do you like all these?
I like them better than Cleanse.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to gauge, because I kind of agree. It is only one. It is random. Early game, it might be better if you can get something off that the opponent rushes you with. But let's stick it in C, bro. I'm with you. Heal. Worm was in here earlier, made a great point. Heal is basically just a small health potion. I'm pretty sure it might be 35%, but this one's 30%. Heal target party member for 30% of target's max HP. That's heal. That's basic 3. Kind of feeling C tier. It's kind of underwhelming when we're looking at these other ones. What do you think?
I would put it. I'm okay with C tier, but I would at least put it above Cleanse. I would rather have heal over Cleanse.
Okay, I'm with you. It is guaranteed as well. It is health. I can live with that. I'm cool with that. Okay. Let me just check here. Yeah, people are saying everything can't be A tier. Hey, we only got 5 A tier, 2 S tier. There's only 5
We're
tiers
pretty
here, bro.
balanced, bro. We're pretty
We
balanced.
don't even
There's
have an
always
F
one
tier, so
tier
you got
that's
to give us some
done.
love here. This is
Right.
looking at like only 10%. This is at about 20. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We got a good little divide here. All right, I like it. Perfect, T. We're doing well. Blinding wins. Interesting one. I think seeing the boars, or excuse me, seeing the chickens, the damn fried chicken, the box, baby. Deal 1 times power damage to target enemy and blind that target. How fucking annoying is it to be blinded, though?
It's pretty annoying.
It's pretty annoying. It's 80% chance, pretty good, and only 1 power. I could see
It's
this being a
alright.
high C.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
B.
mean, I'm okay with C here, but definitely above the other two. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. More impact, but not as much as the B tier. I kind of agree.
Right.
Exhaust, that's a whole turn. You can't do shit except basic attack. Blinding winds, it does last a few turns on those blinds. Or it has to be healed, doesn't it? It has to be fixed. Blind. Yeah, it has to. It doesn't just
Right.
exhaust.
It
So that
doesn't. Yeah.
we'll leave it at C, but I'm trying to convince myself it's a B, but it's not. All
The
right.
one thing that's nice about that is if you're using the anti-blind potion, it's a quick, like less than half turn. So,
Yeah, yep.
but still, it makes you have to interrupt that turn a little bit, and
Easily countered, but also how many people are bringing in, blinding potions?
Right.
Maybe one. It's not too expensive, so maybe one. Let's go to the last one here. Another one you might have to bring a potion for. Same
Mhm.
deal, kind of. 80% chance to poison the target. Deal 1 times power. Poison Blade, basic 1. It's kind of the same type thing, but this time it gives damage. You kind of put it right next to Blinding Winds.
Well, we got SI over here in the chat saying Poison Blade is S tier.
It
I'm
depends. I
I'm not
have
going
one.
that far, but
I
I
wouldn't
would
go
go up
that
to
far.
B. I'd go up to B
Okay, you go up to B.
because
I do want to kind of, say that this does allow a lot of sustained comps. If you're trying to outlast your opponent and throw the poison right on their big tank or their damage dealer, you could
right.
out tank them and just let the poison eat at them if they don't have anti-poison potions. So you're okay with it in B? I'm going to put it under everything in B, but you want
Yeah.
it in B?
Yeah, I think so because I mean the poison, the fact that it can ramp in the way that it does. I mean, I know it can be cleansed and sometimes it just will drop off. I can't remember what that's called, but each turn it's a chance to drop off. But if you get that poison to stick, we can already see it. If you use the Berserker, it can do major damage.
Mm-hmm.
So this has a potential to really wipe out, like you said, you could wipe out a tank in a couple turns if it just keeps ramping.
Mm-hmm.
So that one's pretty powerful, man. That's a great one.
Pretty crazy. I do have to agree. I'm going to tweet this out. Again, you guys at home can check this out and see how you feel for yourself about this. And make them your own, showcase them on stream, run through it like we did, and we'd love to hear it. We'd love to see it. A lot of content to be made for PvP and all this good stuff. So active traits tier list is complete. We'll run through it one more time. Here we have in the S tier, Second Wind, the Elite 2 ability, and Resurrection, the Exalted 1 trait. Explosion, Stun, Daze, Critical Aim, and Speed. 1 or 2 basics making it into the A tier. 1 Elite, and the rest Advanced. Pretty cool, pretty cool. The B tier here for us today, Exhaust, Deathmark, Hardened Shield, Poison Blade, 2 basics, 2 advanced. Not too bad, not too bad. C tier we found to find Blinding Winds, Heal, and Cleanse in that order. And then the D tier, the worst of the worst. Our first D tier, our loser of active traits, Iron Skin, baby. T, are you happy with this?
I like it. I like it.
Perfect.
We got some interesting comments in the chat, but
yeah,
I
a
like where
lot
we
of different
landed.
viewpoints, boys. A lot of different viewpoints. We'll have to see
Right.
it on the battlefield. You want to showcase any? What do you see in here?
What's that?
Any good comments you want to showcase?
I think Justice jumped in. I think he maybe was a little bit late. He said speed is greater than resurrection, which that's a real hot take right there. I think you might have missed when we were kind of talking about resurrection though, and we were low on it too. I mean, we put it S tier obviously, but we put second one above it. So
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Maybe again, this is the beauty of tier list. We can come in here and change. Hopefully, I'll
Right.
try to save this, and maybe we could save ours and go from there. Maybe trade has different viewpoints. We'll see. But let's jump straight into passes. We're not gonna run through the whole list. Oh, well, actually, yeah. Tell me what's changed.
Yeah,
Time.
this one's much easier. I can just breeze through this. So Duelist the same. Clutch is slightly different. You get it used to be increased damage at 30 when you're below 30% health. Now it's whenever you're below 25% health, and the increased damage is 20%. Used to be 30, so it got nerfed a bit there. Evasion, big nerf. It used to be 8% gain, or foresight, excuse me. Used to be 8% evasion gain, and now it's 3, so that's a big change. Headstrong, clear vision, fearless, chatterbox, stalwart are all the same, except it used to be 40% chance to resist the things that they help you resist. Now it's 35, so 5% less. Then whenever we get into the advanced leadership, efficient and intimidation, all the exact same.
Perfect.
Toxic actually got a bit of a bump. It's now 3% chance of poison instead of 2%, so
Oh, wow.
1% increase.
Not bad, not
Um,
bad.
yep. And then the last 3 right here, Giant Slayer, got a bit of a nerf. So it was 30% damage bonus to heroes, and now that's only 20. So 10% decrease there. It's the same versus monsters. Last Stand, a little bit different. It was when a hero's health drops below 20%, they become invulnerable for 1 round. Now that's 30%. When you drop below 30% HP, you no longer become invulnerable. You become unstoppable, which means you can't get any negative status effects. You also can't be taken below 10% HP, and you get 300% passive or physical and magical defense increase for 15 ticks. So that's a big difference there. We can get into that when we talk about it a little bit.
Mhm.
And then the final one, Second Life. It used to be you come back to 50% HP, now it's 25. So same thing that we saw with Resurrection.
I love the chatter in here, dudes. I love the chatter. Keep the discussion going. Keep the discussion going. Much love to everyone in the chat. A lot of high IQ stuff going on. So let's start at the bottom like we did. Second Life, Exalted 1, the only Exalted, of course, that purple stuff. Upon death, return this hero to life with 25% max HP and exhausted. Same theme as last time. Can only occur once per battle per trait. Once per battle per trait. Does that mean, I don't know if
Per
Sasha's
gene.
still in here.
So you could do it twice.
You can do
if
a
you
double
have it
resurrection
twice.
if you have it.
Right.
Okay, perfect. So that it's pretty crazy. Again, don't undervalue death because you're not coming back, dude. You know, like it's another chance. You know, it's a mistake. It's a mulligan. It's a mistake that can be fixed. So are we starting again? How about you want to start in S or you want to leave it in A?
Yeah, no, I think we take this to S, and in fact, I put this better than Resurrection from the standpoint of you don't have to use a turn to use this.
Mm-hmm. You don't. None of
So,
these you do, right? None of these you
right,
do. None of these are
right.
turns. These are all.
Resurrection costs you that turn to bring someone back to life. This, they just come back.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely a boost up. Other than that, it's pretty much the same. And like you're saying, you cheat in death, can't discount that. That's pretty valuable.
Yeah, I'd agree. We'll keep it there. Let's see. Let's jump into Last Stand because this one's intriguing. When this hero's health drops below 30% from a source of damage, the damage is reduced such that no less than 10% of the hero's HP remains. That means you cannot have less than 10% HP. That means whatever ability you got hit with, I think triggers this on hit, and it still will not kill you. I know you said you're not invincible, but I'm pretty sure the way that reads is that damage cannot kill you, and then, like you said, you gain unstoppable. Do you agree with me there on that logic?
Well, it was interesting because there was actually a comment in our Discord that was happening right before we jumped on the stream, and I'm trying to read it now because you're making a point. Deward Way, I don't even know how to say
Dewey
it.
War.
Dewey War, thank you. Terrible reading like made up names.
Yeah, you're good. When it's all bundled, it's hard.
Bundle, right. I mean, I do the same thing with T-Heat to people.
Right.
Anyways. But so he was saying this, and this is maybe an interesting point. I don't know. I haven't had enough time to process it, but he's saying that poison stacking can get you to drop below, and then you're not invulnerable to that. So if the poison hits, you can still kill you within that 15 ticks.
Yep, that's true. So I think the logic is there. If a poison tick gets you under that percent, which is again 30%, that poison isn't going to kill you anyways. but then at any point after you can die, but you gain all
Right.
those buffs. I think you're right there. But if you get hit with a 1,000 HP archer crit, that crit
Saves ya.
cannot kill you. That crit will
Right.
keep you at 10% of your HP. You're 100% right there. I agree.
Right.
Last stand. Where do we want to put it, bro? Is it A tier? It's a preventive. I don't think it's S tier. I'm gonna put it. I think it's pretty strong. How many ticks? 15 ticks only. It's kind of a lifesaver. B or A tier? What are you thinking? I'll let you get the final vote.
Okay, Nastasha is making a point over here in chat that this is one thing for Last Stand that's interesting. If you're getting hit by multi-hit, and the first hit would bring you to less than 10%, it'll
Wow.
stop at 10%, and the following hit may still kill the hero.
So that's your rapid shot. The multi. You know what I mean?
Right.
If,
So
if
let's bring that down, bro. Let's take that down a notch.
to B, that's pretty intriguing because you know
Right.
that multi rapid onslaught from Warrior. If the first hit
Right.
triggers it, the third one, the fourth one, the second one can kill it. Kind of good, but still, I like it. Let's be a little more strict with the passes.
It's
Let's
not
put
as
it in
good as it was. I mean, that's a pretty big
Right.
nerf.
Yeah,
because-
I like it. Let's leave it there. And if we have to bump
Yeah.
it up because nothing falls in A tier above it, let's do it. So
Okay.
Giant Slayer, we're close to time, but if we run over a little bit, it's okay. I just want to test trying to get in that time window.
Right.
We ramble, bro, so we're gonna try to test it. Elite
Right.
1. If target enemy possesses greater HP at any point currently than this hero, increase damage dealt by only 20% and 10% to all other enemies. 20% to heroes, 10% to mobs is how it reads to me. Yeah, don't underestimate that defense though. That is true. That is, that hit probably won't kill you. 300% physical damage, 300% magical defense damage, not damage, defense on both of those. We'll leave it at B still. We'll change it if we have to come back to it for Last Stand. Sasha just commented. But what do you think about Giant Slayer? 20% for, most tanks will have more damage than your damage deal, or more health than your damage dealers.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it's kind of one of those things where it kind of depends on what hero has it, because it's not super great on a knight that's going to come out with more HP than people. But if, I think on a wizard, this could be amazing. Summoner, looking to future classes. But this is big, though, because it also, and like I said, we're trying to rank these just on their own merit. But if you combine it with, two other heroes that have leadership, I mean, you can get some major boosts here from a Giant Slayer. So I like this a lot. I think A is good, maybe even S. Man, this is pretty good. Leave it A. Let's leave it A.
Let's leave it A. I'm with you. So we have Last Stand in S, Giant Slayer in A, and Second Life in B after the Elites and Exalted. Let's go to Advanced. Toxic. Each hit gains 3% chance to apply poison. It's very small. We know how these percentages work, but it is poison. The percent's making me put it in S tier. What do you think? Or C tier, excuse me. The percent is making me put it in C tier.
I've been low on Toxic, even though I obviously we've kind of talked about how that poison ramp can be pretty vicious. But you can cleanse it, or you can use the poison potion, and you just get that right off of you. And it's only 3% chance, which isn't that great. So yeah, I'm with that.
I don't know if they're word salading us here, but it says each hit gains 3% chance to apply poison. So does this stack? Are we getting an in-game stack of poison chance? If it does, I'm moving it to B, if Sasha confirms. But I don't think it does. I think it's just a flat 3% each hit. I could be wrong, though. It's kind of weird how it's worded. Each hit gains 3% chance to apply poison. We'll see. Intimidation. Advanced 3. Enemies deal 5% less damage. That's not bad. This reduction cannot exceed 15% across your whole team. So 3 instances of this can apply, which is pretty. You can have 3 intimidation squads. Pretty cool. What do you think?
A. I mean, you might disagree, but
A. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you for a second.
A. Yeah, A. And you can disagree with me if you think, but I think that this is. I mean, I almost want to put it S. I think this is one of the best ones.
Oh, did I mess up, by the way? Did we put Second Life in B tier? We meant to put Second Life in S. I think Jess was talking about this earlier. Right? Last Stand the Elite falls into B. Second Life falls into S.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I've messed it up visually.
Yes.
Okay.
Good job.
Perfect.
Yeah, good catch.
Yeah, I like it in A. I like it in A. That's 15%. If you got a few of them, only 5 is still pretty strong for the whole game. Some of these passives are often during the game. Some of them are
Right.
in certain situations. I'm with you, bro. I
It's
like it.
every turn, and
Every turn.
exactly, and they can't do anything to counter it. It's just you're
Me-
dealing less damage.
Meanwhile, Last Stand is only one instance of 15 ticks. You know, you don't die, but you're still at low HP. So
Right.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Let's move on. Efficient.
Okay, we got one. We got a good comment in
Okay,
here
yeah.
actually though about toxic. So Sasha says toxic will be 3% chance per hit. So something like barrage, which is up to 6, it would be a 6 times 3 chance to apply poison.
So 18% if you have a big multi-hit move like Barrage. Do we
So
do
I
we
get
think it
again,
moves into B based on that information? You could have some wombo combos, and
I mean,
Last Stand
to
is
me,
initially.
it depends on the archer, or it depends on what you're using on. If you're using
Yeah.
on archer, that's great. If you're using it on a knight
All right.
or a seer,
I agree.
not right.
Versatility, I think Last Stand is still slightly better than Toxic. Toxic. So let's leave it
Yeah,
at B and C for
yeah,
versatility and across all classes. Because we got to think, it's not just archers we're thinking about.
right,
So, all right.
right.
So we're on to leadership, or no, efficient next.
Efficient.
Reduce
This,
mana by 10%.
we've
Just
already
for the
kind of seen
hero.
this in the game.
Huh?
We already kind of seen this with the seer.
Yep. Seer has a move that's similar to that. This is all
And
game for that hero specifically. What are we thinking?
not 18%. Oh, well, we apparently don't know how to do math. They're telling us that's not 18% on the toxic. But, dude, I think that efficient's really, really big time. I know that I used to, before the nerf on Sanctuary, I used to put the seer in that no damage dealing build and just spam that and take all my low mana warriors. And then it made a big difference, man. So this 10% is big time. It's every turn. Um, B probably.
B tier. B tier for mana. I'm trying to think about it.
Because I mean that's just more
That's pretty
damage you're gonna be
strong.
able to deal, or more heals you're gonna be able to do, or whatever. It's great no matter what hero it's on.
All right,
Because
I'm gonna make
everyone's
one
using
change. What do
mana.
you think about this? Dropping toxic to D, putting it in C, because I don't think it's as good as this. Oh well, I kind of do. Okay, I kind of agree. Last Stand is kind of underwhelming. I'm kind of surprised. It just feels
Right.
so short, in all honesty. So I'm with you
Right.
here. I'm gonna change up the music in the background. Let's go. Let's do the darks. What's the portal music sounding like in Sarah and Crystal Vale? All right, let's go back. Perfect. I'm with you. All right, perfect. We're set up. Let's get into leadership. Increase damage dealt by 5%. Cannot exceed 15% again. We're probably both in the same boat that this is a little bit better than intimidation, right? Damage?
No, a little worse.
A little
This
worse,
one's a little
okay.
worse.
So
Yeah.
damage reduction is more valued than damage to you.
Well, just from this angle, I mean, I do like dealing more damage, but it's worse because it can apply to the hero that has it itself.
Oh, is that
Um,
how the other one reads too? Enemies deal
no,
less. Wow, good point.
right,
Only each ally. So it's only 2 of your heroes and the 2 that don't have this ability. Great point. Now, does
right.
it still
So
belong in A tier because of that?
I think so. I do
Okay.
think so.
I agree.
And it's just a big time boost, and it kind of depends. I mean, I could make the case it's better than intimidation for like a priest or maybe a seer that you're doing more heals with, and then you're boosting your damage dealers damage out. So it kind of depends on what class it's on, that kind of thing. Like we've been saying with all these, but it's still one of those passives that's hitting every single turn. Well, maybe not every turn, but every one of your other 2 allies' turns, you're getting that boost. So that's really valuable, and there's no way to counter it or anything. So that's, to me, pretty big time.
I love it, dude. I'm with you. I'm with you. Okay, we're feeling good about this. This is intriguing stuff to see what this is all shaping up to look like. All right, let's get into the basics. 8 left before this first episode of Fried Chicken and Pigskins is over, brother.
We can kind of do the next couple ones. I feel like we can talk about them all at the same time because it's
Right.
all 35% resistance. And then I guess we got to pick what's most valuable to be resistance to: daze, blind, fear, silence, or poison.
All right, I'm gonna start it off, and you tell me if we're wrong here. Stalwart is going D tier because there's not enough poison in the game yet, in my opinion.
I agree.
We okay there? 35% of poison, not that great. Chatterbox, resistance to silence, also one I don't think we have a lot of silence in the game just yet. Are you okay
Yeah,
with
I
it in
think
D
the
tier?
only thing that can silence you is
The
is the
priest.
one. No, there's a night move.
There's a oh yeah, okay, yeah, there's the night move, and isn't I'm pretty sure there's a combo that allows the priest ability to
Persistent,
silence. I could be wrong though.
maybe. Yeah,
Kept
so
throwing.
that takes a hit because exactly, and
Still
then
D.
also it doesn't affect you like also, yeah, D.
Yeah,
We can
still
move
D tier. I
on.
agree. Still D tier. All right, so fearless here. Increase resistance to fear by 35%. We don't have a lot of fear in here either. I think this is the worst of the worst. You know, maybe
Right.
uh,
What
po-
has fear? Does Warrior and Berserker have fear?
yeah,
I don't even
I
know.
think Berserker does have fear, so that could be
Yeah.
interesting. You know, fear's not a fun thing to deal with. I
Right.
still think it's worst of the worst. Poison is
Right.
stronger than fear.
I
Silence
agree.
kind of sucks.
I agree.
We'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. Next up is blind resistance,
Blind.
clear vision. We do have an ability that gives you blind pretty likely in the actives with blinding winds.
Right.
How valuable is this? I don't think there's much else that gives blind, but you think it's C?
Hey,
Do you think it still stays D, high D?
if we're talking about for box, this one's really valuable. If
Yeah,
we're talking about PvP,
PvP baby.
maybe top of the D tier.
Top D, I agree. Headstrong, increased resistance to daze. You know, there's a few daze abilities. There is the active, there is Forever Vigilant. Warriors have a chance to daze.
Right.
Top D, maybe? It's not great.
I feel like we could put this one C because
Okay.
there's more ways to get dazed, and daze is a little bit more damaging. I feel when it happens to you. So yeah, let's put this one
Yeah,
on.
I agree. So Headstrong in C kind of makes it in the cut there. I agree with that. Foresight, one of the fun ones, but it got nerfed to oblivion potentially. Went from 8% or potentially 7%, I think it was 8%, down to
It was 8.
3%.
All right.
8% it was.
Mm-hmm.
I still think it's pretty good. That is 3% flat, maybe low B, maybe high C. What are you thinking?
I think B.
B
Yeah,
tier. Maybe
B
better than
last
efficient
year.
actually. Maybe mid B. But not.
I don't know.
It is
I don't
flat
know.
evasion all game. It could be strong. Where do you want to put it, T?
That is true. I mean, yeah, evasion is big time, and you could also, I mean, there's equipment out there that you could pair with this to get your evasion really, boosted up. So that's kind of part of the reason that I want to put it B is because if you combine it with some pants or a feather duster, you could see your evasion start, especially like say you're double foresight and you do those things, you could be up to probably 12-15% evasion, which
Mm-hmm.
judging by how big this got nerfed, I'm feeling like 15% evasion is going to be really
I'm,
a high level to be
I'm
at.
feeling that. I'm feeling the vibes with evasion. Evasion strong. I kind of lean in to put it high B, honestly. Evasion flat for the whole game,
Right.
stacked with armor. I'm with you, bro. All right, let's finish off these last two. And again, boys and girls, we want to stress, none of this is financial advice. Don't ape into broken mechanics. DeFi Kingdoms always says this. We're just going through. Don't go out and buy the most expensive Second Life hero and just think you're gonna roll through PvP like Beeve does. Because guess what? If you don't have the knowledge of the game, bro, you're just gonna have another piece. You're just gonna have another purple piece that's sitting there losing tournaments. We haven't seen some of these purple boys at top of these tournaments in forever. So right now I think it's an interesting time, and I just want to say to those people with heroes that they're not leveling, that they don't have a feel for PvP or even PvE yet. You should get playing because the game will pass you by even if you have those heroes. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how people play, but had to get that out there. And also just to say, all this is based on our thoughts. We haven't played yet. So we'll have to see on all this stuff. Things could change that first week we get PvP, and we're hoping me and T will be here on a Thursday night to go through and change these tier lists. So, anything you want to comment on that before you finish up?
Nah, let's keep moving.
Let's keep it cooking. Clutch, basic 2, baby. Increased damage dealt by 20% when below 25% HP. Holy, this is better than I initially thought. Increased damage dealt by 25%. Basically a weird mini giant slayer, if you will,
Right.
If you can hang around that 25% threshold with some barriers, shoot.
Well, you make a good point. Like Giant Slayer and Clutch combined is pretty beastly. If you pair that with the priest and just keep your guy like 20%, 25% HP and just give him like minor heals, just ride that edge.
For sure, dude. You can get them barriers stuck. SI, bro. SI. It seems you and Mythic Squad are having some troubles, bro. Jewelers is always open arms to SI, to the intern, bro. to the bloater himself. I just want to put that out there because he notes in chat there that there's little internal struggles going on in Mythic Squad between the Gen chat this morning. So, brother, if there's disarray, if there's chaos, join the good guys over here at Jewelers, and we got a place for you, bro. We got a place for you, SI, my friend, and all Mythic Squatters and all DeFi Kingdom players out there. All right, Clutch is strong, bro. I'm thinking it's next to Foresight somewhere. Oop, what'd I move? Fearless. Okay.
Well, the problem with it though is that
Or
it's
maybe
only,
C.
and it's nice because all heroes. Well, I guess you might not ever get into that range. I mean, it's not gonna. It could possibly not trigger if you're just dominant, which I guess that's a good.
True.
That's best case. I mean, if your hero's not about to die, you're probably gonna win. So I guess that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I kind of like it. I definitely like it better than Duelist, which are the last two we got to go. Yeah, where you want to put it? You wanted to put a B?
No, I think I was jumping the gun there. I think it does
C?
revolve in C, but where?
C. I would put it
High C.
below Toxic
Okay.
because Toxic has a chance to hit every turn.
Mid C, baby, mid C. Headstrong is again, the best 35%er. Yeah, I'd say it's right there. I think that's a good spot for it. Last one, T, and we finish the actives and passives here. Finishing the passive traits. Duelist, basic 1. When fighting 1 versus 1, only you got to be the last one left on your team, and the other team has to be 1 versus 1 or last one as well.
Right.
1 versus 1, increased damage dealt by 20% only. Not the best, but
Feels like it needs to be
situational.
higher percentage because
Because it's so situational, right?
situational, right? Like, I feel like I need a 50% boost here to make me want to put this anything but above D.
Yeah, I agree. So I still think it's better than a few of these D ones, but let's put it in D just because it's so situational and a little more, a better spread here, less top heavy, more
Right.
balanced. I like this one. I think we did well. But that finishes it out for the actives and passives tier lists. Again, I'm gonna tweet this out for you good folks. Showcase yours on stream. Do it when you guys can have organized thought, or just tweet at us and showcase what you guys think. Would be much appreciated. You can use the template we made here in this tweet. But T, damn, this was a good hour, a good first episode of Fried Chicken and Pigskins, baby, where we're gonna be talking DeFi Kingdoms, PvP, eSports, and fantasy football, NFL, baby, with the Pigskins. How much did you love this episode? And final words here.
Man, it was a lot of fun talking trades. Looking forward to seeing these things in action, hopefully soon. And quarter three's here, so PvP really is right around the corner. You got to believe it. So I'm pumped, and I'm excited to start this new pigskin and what I call fried chicken and pigskins. Man, you think I created it? You think I
You
know
created it, bro. You should remember it.
It'll come to me one day, but once you get on the spot, your mind goes blank.
The name will come, but look at this as well. DeFi Kingdoms, it did drop. Expeditions, the art is always fantastic.
I got to get right into that, man.
Get in there. Now live, you can play, or you can get your heroes questing, free of waiting, free of, really any monitoring from you. You can kind of just let it go. Full sale, which is great. Again, next week on Pigskins, Fried Chicken and the Pigskins, baby, we're going to be going through the NFL tier list. Maybe some DeFi Kingdoms mixed in. NFL tier list shouldn't take us a full hour, but we're going to go through with our way too early predictions, and whoever else joins us, me and T, I'm hoping at least.
Yes, sir.
Maybe trade, we'll see. And anyone in the community wants to jump on for the tier list, we'll probably limit it to about 3 people total, including myself. So anyone else wants to jump on, let me know ahead of time, and potentially we'll have a little fun with the NFL tier list. And again, this show is going to be all DFK esports and real sports with the NFL. So a lot of fun stuff to come. Much love to all you guys showing up in the chat. It was fun. And until next time, we'll see ya.